Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's John W. Davis with Pavy. You're listening to the Spark Report. What's going on, Pav? How you doing?
Man? How you doing? We ain't done one of these in how long? Like what, a month or two?
Oh, it's been a while.
Was the last one we did right after the season?
No, it was when I came back from my trip. We did an off-season report.
Yeah, it wasn't that like right after the season though, because like what the season ended.
No, I was gone. Remember? As soon as the season was over, I left. I was gone for a month.
You're right.
And then I think we did one. So
You're right.
But it's great to be back. It's a lot to talk about.
It is a lot to talk about.
It's a big month for the WNBA.
Yep, free agency starts very, very soon. They got the college games, which actually I'm pretty excited to see. Actually,
they have a pre-period in free agency.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks, you can start talking to teams, and then you can technically sign on February 1st. But the big thing that's looming around it is the CBA.
CBA.
We don't know how much
The cap is going to be.
Yeah. So I think that's the key, is figuring out how much the cap is going to be, how much you have to spend, and then...
And to like see what the new max deals are and stuff is like.
Right.
Yeah.
See if there's like a designated player, like a designated superstar clause or something like that, because LA is a destination. When you look at the WNBA, all the teams, there's not many markets you'd rather spend the summer in than LA.
Now, granted, the thing about it is, it does help. That it is the summer, so it's like even some of the cold weather places like Chicago or New York.
Oh, summertime shy is great.
No, even like a Washington, like even Washington D.C. in the summer ain't bad.
Right.
I mean that's Vegas. So the good part about the WNBA,
Vegas is hot.
Yeah, Vegas is hot, but it's Vegas though.
Yeah.
I get to be in Vegas for 3 months. Why not?
But LA is a shout out to my
I agree.
State of Indiana. I used to live in Fort Wayne, Indiana,
yeah.
So shout out to the Hoosiers. But LA is a little better destination than Indianapolis.
No, 100%. Like LA is always LA.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the fact that they do play in the summertime, I think it kind of lessens the fact of like, oh, I need to be in LA.
Okay.
That's the only thing I'm saying. I think it lessens the fact because pretty much everywhere has nice weather from late May to September.
That's a fair point. But I will say that LA has some of the most connected players in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
people are friends with our players.
People are friends, and just people hang out in LA in general, which is the one advantage that LA always has over most cities, is because like most players from any sport, when they in the off season, what do they spend their time in? LA.
Right.
And if you have other aspirations off the court, it's easier to do, pursue those things in a market like LA, as opposed to a place like Dallas or something like that. So yeah, that's fair.
Right. And that's one of the biggest things about the new CBA is they're talking about the idea of marketing these players better. Where else can you market yourself better than LA or New York?
Yeah. Vegas too. You march so good in Vegas too.
Staples Center or Barclays.
Staples Center, Barclays.
You know what I'm saying? Downtown Brooklyn or downtown LA.
Yeah.
There's some great options with that. But, when you look at the Sparks roster, though.
Everybody's pretty much under contract.
Yeah. You got 12 players and
9 of them
are under contract. And you have an option to bring over one of the top players in Europe from Turkey, Alina Iquipova.
I haven't seen her play.
So you got like 9.5 contracts that you're working with right now.
I need to go and look her up and like see her actually play.
I think her stats are in line with per 36, like a 25-5. So just think like
25 and 5 assists.
Yeah,
okay.
20 points,
5
rebounds, 5 assists. So like one of those type of guards, kind of like what you would expect Chelsea to do.
Yeah, expect Chelsea to do.
Not saying she's on Chelsea's level,
but just
I don't think there's anybody that's on Chelsea's level right now.
But just when you think about when I think of somebody giving you 25 and 5, I think that's a guard who can play on ball or off ball. It's not like you giving like you Vandersloot,
right?
You like 11
and she had to play off the ball because you know who she played with last year in Turkey, Chelsea Gray. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So Chelsea Gray has already played with this lady.
So they have chemistry together.
Yeah.
I mean,
they won a championship together in that league.
In Turkey.
Yeah. I mean, tell me you don't like somebody you won a championship with?
Yeah, I mean, I think bringing her over is probably, for one, the cheapest option, number one. Because my other suggestion is go sign Skylar, which is obviously going to be more expensive.
That's a great option.
My other suggestion was like go sign Skylar. For one, I mean, I think LA would be the place to be to go see. I mean, LA the Sparks are always a place to be for women's basketball. I think like the Staples Center, the fact when it's in Staples, it's in LA in the summertime. You always see at least one or two NBA players popping in. Kyrie came to a game. DeMar came to a game. Gobert came to a game. Rondo came to a game. Trae Young came to a game. This is on top of my... Karis LeVert came to a game. Jaren Jackson
Stewart came to a lot of games when she was injured.
She came to game. Didn't Floyd Mayweather came to a game.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Floyd came to a game. Yep. So like it's already a destination for like women's basketball, and I think just adding Skylar into that, if you're talking about from like a business standpoint, you talk about marketing and leads, like there would be no team easier to market than we got Skylar Diggins and Candace Parker on the same team,
and Chelsea Gray
and Necker and Shanae on the same team. Right. Now, granted, it's a lot of star power, it's a lot of egos, a lot of things you have to fix out. But I mean, I think that.
But they should be learning how to play together right now. They're both on the U.S. national team together. Yeah, they both have those top 8 contracts. So that's a trio that can be starting to learn each other. They can be starting to talk to her.
Gain some chemistry.
Hey, Skylar, you want to come on over here?
She upset at Dallas, so obviously right. I would assume she's not going back to Dallas.
I would say the LA Sparks have the premier mother of the WNBA, Candace Parker.
Yeah,
who's been a mom basically the whole time she's been in the league. She stayed with this team the whole time, so obviously she feels like there's a way to create a support system in LA to raise her daughter and still play for the Sparks at the same time. And that's what Skylar was looking for.
She just signed a Rock Nation as well. Like anything you know about Rock Nation management is like they definitely progress their clients and get the best out of them marketing wise. And you know who Skylar's last favorite coach was? Who? Fred Williams. Okay. He's an assistant coach with the Sparks. If they bring him back. So there's a lot of synergies there. I think the only other logical option for her would be New York. I mean, obviously Rock Nation, Barclays Center. Jay-Z helped build the Barclays Center. Also, if you talk about Skylar, I think Skylar needs to be in the market. Like you're not gonna go to Indianapolis. I think that's a logical option for her though, because she's got the Notre Dame connection. She's got the affinity for the state of Indiana. She has great memories there, and if you put her on that team, that is her team, no doubt, no questions. They're going to build around Skylar Diggins. I mean, yeah, but it's just like... I'm not saying she should go. I mean, but yes. I'm saying that's a... I hear you. And you're going to... If Tamika Catchings calls, you're going to listen. I hear you. I feel you. But same time, if I'm Skylar, like, I want to be a superstar. She already is a superstar. She already is, but can you imagine that in New York or that in L.A.? Even that in, like, a place like Vegas or something like that. You're right. Like, I think it just makes you bigger. Now, granted, you can be that in Indiana. I mean, look, Russell Westbrook was a star in Oklahoma City. So, especially with the way social media is, it's not like you need to be in a big market. But I think for a league that you're still trying to grow, you need your stars to be in premier markets. Because you're still trying to grow the WNBA. So, like, I think realistically for her, if I'm her, I think my biggest destinations, like my top 2 destinations, like I can't speak for it, but it's just me, would be New York and would be LA. Okay. So if she was on the Sparks, let's go into this a little bit more then. So obviously you're going to start her, right? Yeah. You're starting her and Chelsea in the backcourt. Yes. Who you starting in front court? Because if you bring her in, she's most likely going to be your premier free agent signing, and you're not really going to be adding, excuse me, you're not going to be adding much else. How many shots did she take last year? She didn't play last year. So the year before, takes a lot. She's scored about 20 points a game in the league. She's a scorer. I don't know the exact shots, but she's a ball dominant player. She's never really played the 2 like that. She's never really played with another guard who can kind of dominate. Chelsea can play the 2 though. I don't want Chelsea to play the 2. I would much. She kind of did it at moments this year though. She played off the ball. Yeah, because Candace would switch to point guard and Candace would do her thing. So like that's a deferment though. That's just like, you bowing down Candace Park. That's the bow down to Candace Park thing. Yes, but even like I did the podcast earlier in the season, which I thought that she needed to be used a lot like Jokic. Like, how like, yes, technically Jamal Murray is the point guard of the Nuggets, but Jokic is the point guard of the Nuggets. I thought that in many situations Candace was the point guard of the Sparks.
Yeah.
13, 18, yeah. She takes, 13 shots? 13 shots a game. Shoots 42%. Now, granted, 13 shots, when you talk about in a 40-minute game.
Yeah, but look at these averages. We're talking about 20 points her second year. Her fifth year, 18 points. The last year that she played, 18. You see what I'm saying? Like, she scores. She shoots.
I don't think that's a bad thing. No,
I don't think it's a bad thing.
I really don't think that's a bad thing for this team.
I think you would put a lot of pressure on teams if you were rolling out Chelsea and Skylar in a backcourt.
Yeah, and Chelsea's not going out there giving you 20 though.
That's like a continuation of the Olympic team.
Yeah, and Chelsea's not going out there giving you 20. She's going out there realistically giving you for the most. She's 14,
Chelsea's
14,
not
14.
Giving you 20, but that's just because she's not asked to give you 20. If we really wanted Chelsea Gray to give 20, she'd be giving 20. Chelsea Gray can average 20 points.
With the way they use her, I don't think she would be giving you 20.
No, not the way they use it.
With the way they use it. And also, she wouldn't be able to get trapped as much.
If they did ISO Gray,
no,
that's 20 every time. They want a James Harden.
Yeah, but also
that's 20 every night.
Yeah, what you saw in the playoffs where they would trap her a lot. Mm-hmm. So if you add a guard like Skylar next to her, you really can't. You can trap her if you want to, but now you just leaving Skylar open, who can one shoot the ball and also create some on her own. Now I think if this did happen, you could start Candace, but I think that she would need to work on her spot up threes. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, obviously she was playing through a lot of injuries last year, so I think last year was kind of like an admiration for her. She started the season, had the hamstring, then I think she had a bad ankle.
Yeah, and she's currently strength training right now. That's what Candace Parker's doing. She's working on her body, the balance, the wholeness of it, everything.
Yeah, so I think you have to evenly distribute the ball. Mm-hmm. I think that Candace could take it up sometimes. I think maybe when send one of them to the bench. You would have to. Derek would definitely have to have his work cut out for him, but I don't think it's a bad problem to have.
No,
I don't think that it's bad to have two guards who can both go out there and give me 20.
You'd have to substitute a lot quicker though, because that was one thing that I felt like Derek Fisher kind of had, not a problem, but he just got comfortable watching the game, and then you look up and it's 3 minutes left in the quarter, and you're like, well, I'll just leave him in now. It's only 3 minutes left. So you got to bring people in and out more if you want to utilize these players. Because you're going to have realistically, you're going to have a 3 big rotation. You're going to have Nneka, Chiney, and Candace. Nneka deserves the most minutes out of them because she's the most efficient player at this time. Okay? She's got to get the highest minutes. Between the two, Candace Parker has shown, player of the week flashes, still like that. I would still put Candace above Chiney, and then Chiney is still an all-star.
I think it depends on matchup though.
It does,
because it's even I told you even in the playoffs last year, I thought Candace needed to come off the bench. I'm sorry, I knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah,
honestly, that was not like you.
I'd love to ask her if she feels like how effective she feels like she could be. Coming off the bench. She gonna
give you that mellow answer. They say I gotta come off the bench.
Yeah, but you know what? I listen to Candace Parker's podcast every week. And
shout out Candace.
Yeah, shout out to Candace. And she has talked about the fact that she's talked to Melo about his maturation. And before he went to Portland,
that's dope.
She had talked to him and she felt like that Carmelo was willing to come off the bench in Portland. Yeah. Okay, so she's processing these things through other people. Maybe not necessarily herself, but she's witnessing how you can do it. She saw D-Wade. Now what is D-Wade doing now? He's working with Turner. Yeah. So, there's synergies and osmosis that's going to be working into her mindset like, this is something that can happen or people can really be effective.
I don't want to say it, but to be fair, I think the team works best if this was the starting lineup. Chelsea, Skylar, whatever position they cross, whatever, who cares? They playing 1 and 2 don't really matter, interchangeable. TRP, I think she needs to stay. Okay. I think TRP needs to stay, but I think TRP needs to be in the gym working on her threes. Oh, yeah. Most importantly, her corner threes.
We're going to talk about that because we're going to talk about all the players on the Sparks that are overseas right now and what we want them to work on. But yes, TRP, corner threes.
But most importantly, corner threes.
PJ Tucker, that.
If she could, if she could just shoot 36, 37% from the corners.
She was for a lot of the season. It got cold towards the end.
It got cold.
Got frozen.
Not granted. I know she has shoulder issues, so obviously it's hard to shoot with bad shoulders. So I know that you know that. Not that's fair. And then NECA at the 4. Reason being is because NECA has shown the ability to be able. I think she's actually decent corner 3-point shooter. She's also decent from the top of the key.
Yep.
And she would give, like, if you got Skylar and you got Chelsea out there, you need to get a guard's room to penetrate.
Okay, who you starting to center?
And I'll probably start Shanae at center just because she can be like a Tristan Thompson.
Okay.
All she gonna do is like clean it up. She gonna clean up all misses. Okay. She's not gonna really take too many shots, but she gonna clean up every single miss. Now, granted, I don't think I would end games with Shanae. Okay. I think Candace would end up playing starter minutes. She probably play like 28 minutes a game.
So you coming off the bench with Candace, Sydney Weiss, who else? Maria Vadiva.
Maria, when she's there. Maria
should be there most of the year.
Maria, well, I mean, it's gonna be hard to work in Maria though. Like, I don't really think you need to play that many. It's gonna be hard to work in Maria.
It is.
I think you really only. I think honestly, in like a 40-minute game, you really only need to play 3 bigs.
I agree with that. Unless there's extenuating circumstances,
exactly.
foul trouble, something like that, or you just really need like a 2-3 minute spurt of somebody to come in. And,
so I'm like coming off the bench with like Raquana. Like, I don't think Raquana and Skylar should ever play together.
Okay.
I think that Chelsea...
They have played together before in Tulsa.
Yes.
They was on the team together.
Yeah. And then Raquana dropped
53 points.
53 points.
Yeah. And she did that this offseason.
That's fair.
She dropped a 50-point already.
That's fair. But I say that because that makes you a very small backcourt.
It does.
It makes you a very, very, very... I think what Skylar is 5'9", Raquana is like 5'.
That makes you the size of like the Sky backcourt.
Yeah.
With Vandersloot and Quigley. A
personally,
5'7" and a 5'9".
Personally, I don't really like small guards. Personally, I'm a fan of bigger guards.
Yeah.
And also I like I also think Chelsea needs to be using the post more as well. I think that I would also love to see some lineups in. Let's say they went small. Let's say they put Candace at center. They can't really do that because they only have like a 4. If TRP could shoot 40 or something like that from the corners, her, Sydney, Chelsea, and like Raquana for like a second, like a small period of time.
They'll just keep neck in. You know they don't take neck out.
Fair.
They would just keep neck in. Let's be honest. They would keep neck in.
Or, I mean, yes, but I think that you could run with that lineup and really, really run and like play 4 out.
You could.
And I think in that situation, you would have to shoot more threes. Again, I still think one thing with the WNBA and like why Washington did what they did this season.
Pull it.
Yeah, it was like they would just pull it from like they would pull it. Like they would get they would just I think they took like 43s in one game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another person we haven't even mentioned at all, Marina Mabry. She still got hurt. Like,
but she
got a lot of players on this team.
Yeah,
you got too many players.
I agree, but Marina still got to work on her game though. Like I think she's like 2 or 3 years away from being able to get consistent minutes.
You know what she did? Basically her first game over in Europe this year. She beat the team that had Brittany Griner, the Chicago backcourt, and somebody else. She beat that super team in Russia. It was her and another player, but so I mean.
Yeah, but she still, for one, I think that she still tries too hard to use her right hand all the time.
Okay.
I think she still needs to work on that left.
Okay.
I think she needs to not. Granted, I appreciate the fact she is not scared to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
But I do think she needs a little bit more jurisdiction about when she does shoot the ball.
More discretion.
A little bit more discretion about when she does shoot the ball. But I appreciate the fact that she will airball a shot and come right back up and shoot the next one like she didn't airball it. I appreciate it, but I would just appreciate a little bit more jurisdiction about when you shoot it.
I think one thing that would be great for the Sparks is since you have so many capable players, basically everybody on the roster can get in there and play and help you out. I think that's a great opportunity to increase your pace. Play faster. Create more possessions. Therefore, you need to use more players. But if you're just slowing it down and you half-courting it, then you really only need about 8 players. And there's going to be some odd women out. You got too many players.
I hear you about the play faster thing, but it's like I don't know if playing fast.
And they still have 2 picks to do as well. Yes, they don't have the first round pick because they traded it for Janae, but they still got a second and third round pick.
They got they do have too many.
You know who they can get in the second round?
Who?
Erica. You know Erica's last name?
Okay.
Oh, let's get 3 of them.
Cool. Yeah.
No, I'm dead serious.
I know you're dead serious.
I'm super dead serious.
It's like one of the best rebounding guards. And
yes.
Like,
what do we need? What do we need? What was they complaining about? Right. What was they complaining about?
They got out rebounded. What was it? 40-something to 20-something.
She is literally, in my opinion, she's literally like almost a spitting image of Chanae, just 5'9" instead of 6'3".
Fair.
But then she's gonna have perimeter game.
So in that situation you talking about, then you wouldn't go get Skylar, because then that would be
you gotta get Skylar too. I think,
and bring over the lady from Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you just trying to have like you just trying to.
Yo, I'm going for a super squad. I think you have to make some trades. I think you got to make some trades. I think you cannot have more than 4 big players in your rotation. Right now they got 5, so that's 1. So you trade somebody for a pick, just like they did, because last year before the season they had 6.
Yeah,
they had Jontel Lavender, and they was like, okay, Chicago.
She had to go.
Right, she was on a max contract.
Yeah,
and she just had to go, because if they would have kept her,
it'd have been too many.
They would have had to have 11 players.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to figure out one of those 5. And I think it's between Kalani and Maria Vadiva who you want to trade, because you're not breaking up the sisters. And Candace Parker's not going
Candace Parker not going nowhere.
Right. So unless you tell me, and I've been pushing for it, and I'm going to say it again until it happens, unless you're telling me that you're going to slide Candace Parker out of the 4-5 position for at least 8 minutes a game to create a little bit more opportunities for everybody else, move her to the 3 at some point, then one of them's got to go, okay? And then you look at the backcourt, and you know how interchangeable Sydney Weiss is, so you're keeping her. But then if you bring somebody over like Skylar, and I didn't even get to bring up Aerial Powers, you bring over somebody like that, I think that's another option. Then you're looking at this bench like, I don't know if we really have a role for somebody like Alexis Jones. But I don't think Alexis Jones should not be in the WNBA.
No, she's definitely a good player.
That's another person.
Teams could use her.
Right. That's another option. Okay? So right there, I'm creating about 3 openings. Okay? So let's say you don't have Elena Beard, you don't have Alexis Jones, and you don't have Maria or Kalani, whichever one. That's 3 spots. So there's a Skylar spot. You're bringing back TRP on hers. So there's a Skylar spot, an Alina Iguapova spot, and an Erica Agumake spot. That's 3. 3 for 3.
I don't hate it. I just think that the Sparks, the one issue that they have is like you kind of got like 2 teams. Mm-hmm. I still think you got some pieces from like the team that won in 2016, but now we're here in 2020, and I think you kind of got like 2 different teams, and you're trying to like work both of the teams in and like make them fit. I think that's the biggest issue that they have, in my opinion.
That is a huge issue.
I think that they just have literally 2 different teams. Like they still have pieces and I think those pieces, the team is still built around those pieces.
Right. They have to come together. They have to decide like how they can meld those 2 together, because that was sort of the issue at the end of the season. You had proven championship players who had won in 2016 and like, well, this is how we won. But then you had a coach who was like, well, we ain't gonna win like that anymore.
And you just had different players and players who were like, Chelsea wasn't playing a pivotal role at that point in time. She's playing a pivotal. I mean, I think she was arguably the best player on the team. And in like moments, I think that the team should be built more around her and more around what she does. And I don't think the team is really built more around her and more around what she does.
But she's the engine. But that's an opportunity for whoever becomes a GM to say,
which also I think will help. I think the fact that you have a new GM, that you're gonna have a new GM. Hopefully, it's somebody from outside the organization and not that was already in the organization. Reason I said it is I just think you need some new ideas.
Okay.
As opposed to somebody who was already there and have been there for some years and okay, like this is how things. I think you just need some new ideas. So I think that will help and bring a different spark to the roster and maybe could also attract some free agents as well. Like maybe and it just brings some energy back. Like sometimes no diss to Penny. Penny was always great to me.
Right.
Like great to us like in the media. But I think that sometimes you just want to hear a new voice.
Mm-hmm.
She's been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Basically, like sometimes
she
it's
scored
just
the first basket.
Scored the first basket in WNBA.
And there was just a few months between her being a player and then GM.
Yeah.
And in that time from being GM, she had bumped herself down to coach, back up to GM.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes you just need
longest tenured GM in WNBA history.
It's just like sometimes you just really need a new voice. Mm-hmm. And with a new voice, really, especially going into look, it's 2020. The way you play basketball at every level of basketball is just different.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need some new ideas.
Do you think there's any opportunity, like if you had the opportunity to say bring in Skylar Diggins-Smith and another Olympic level player?
That's too much, bro.
Would you do it?
That's too much. I mean, you could do it just because of the fact, like, why not? We play in LA. This is like that's like a very LA thing to do.
Think about it like this. So you have,
but it's just like it's one basketball, bro.
I know, but think about it like this. So you have Candace Parker, who has been on Olympic teams before. She's not going to be on anymore in the future. So former Olympian, but then current Chelsea, Nneka, Skylar, and then I don't know.
Unless that Olympian is going to be like the defensive player of the year, I'm straight on it.
Okay.
It's only one basketball.
I don't think Natasha Howard was a free agent.
It's like it's literally only everybody can't want to shoot.
Yeah. So no way Liz comes.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Let me
unless you're gonna trade Nneka or somebody like that, and you not.
No.
So no.
No, you're not trading Nneka. You're not trading Nneka. All right, here. Let me go on some other people. Let's see. Is there anybody from the Connecticut Sun you can see coming?
I mean,
Could you see Courtney Williams coming?
That's not gonna happen. But I mean, sure, if it could happen, like go get it. That's not gonna happen though.
Okay.
I think Strickland would be. I mean, she's a knockdown. I mean, she's not the defender that TRP is, of course, but she's definitely a shooter. Now, and if you got her, then you could do the little playing small thing that I said because it's not you really wouldn't be playing that small.
Right.
But no, I think if you're Connecticut and them, I think that they want it now.
Here,
go down some.
Let me go down the back.
She did well. No, she's restricted, so that's not. I was Rachel. She did come in and flame up a couple games for Connecticut. She did come in and flame up a couple games. I'm just saying. But I think if you're Connecticut, you're probably just staying put.
Okay. Here, let's do this then before we move on to the Sparks overseas. So, I think the best unrestricted free agent on the Atlanta Dream is probably Angel McCoughtry. If you had the opportunity to bring her over, would you?
Not really. She's 30.
Okay.
No, not really.
Next team, Chicago Sky. The best are probably Vandersloot and Quigley. Vanderquigs, as they call them.
Yeah, but
the married backcourt.
Yeah, but they not.
There's a package deal.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to bring both of them over, would you?
Why?
Okay, right. So you probably can't do that. Next team, Connecticut Sun. If you have the opportunity to bring Jonquel Jones over, would you bring her over?
Yeah, but somebody got to go. So no.
Right. What about Courtney Williams?
Yeah, if she wants to come, I don't think that's going to happen, though.
I don't know. Daddy Don seen a lot of spotlight. Can you imagine Courtney Williams in L.A.?
I mean, yes.
L.A. would love Courtney Williams.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. And like
she could start. She could come in and start.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 100%. But, I mean, if you just look at what Connecticut had, like, I don't think Connecticut wants to let her get away.
I don't think so either. I don't think she would want to leave.
Yeah, I don't like it. Just even, I mean, they've built this thing, like all of them together, built this thing from the ground up. You got that far. You got to Game 5. Why not run it back and try to win it all this time?
Right. Dallas Wings, Skylar Diggins-Smith. That's got to be the play, right?
That's got to be.
I mean,
it makes sense on every single level. It makes sense on the basketball court, and it makes sense 1,000% business wise.
Right.
Who not, like, people who don't even care about the WNBA. We had this conversation off here. If you want to tell me the five most marketable people, Candace Parker, because it's Candace Parker.
Right.
Liz, because of what Liz does as a personality off the court, and also she's great on the court.
Right.
But her as a personality off the court. Skylar Diggins.
Yeah.
Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi.
Yeah. And honestly, with all the shine Janae is getting, I might sneak her up.
Janae,
I'd sneak her in there, probably over Tarazi, because she seems to be kind of fading to the side.
The reason why I'm not gonna put her over Tarazi is because Tarazi is a basketball legend. Tarazi is like Kobe.
Yeah, but it's like Kobe before we knew that Kobe was gonna start doing like storytelling and stuff like that. Remember when there was like that period where Kobe was just chilling and we was like, "Where's Kobe?"
Yeah,
like Kobe got like out of shape.
Yes, but
and he was just like enjoying retirement.
Yes, but if Diana Taurasi shows up, Diana Taurasi will still put people in the seats just because you know the name Diana Taurasi.
Okay. So Aces, Liz Cambage.
No, it doesn't make sense unless you're gonna trade somebody.
There's no way that makes sense.
You gonna add another big?
It's Liz Cambage. She can shoot threes if you let her.
She's
an easy bucket inside. She loves LA. She has the same agent as all of them.
Doesn't move the needle for me.
Okay.
But the reason why I'm saying that is
you put her on your team, she can't beat you on another.
Yeah, but there's also a certain thing called team chemistry. And we also gotta like formulate the best roster. You just can't just pick the best player. Go play together.
All right. LA Sparks, if you had to bring back one player between Elena Beard, Chelsea Gray, and Tierra Ruffin-Pratt.
I mean, obviously it's Chelsea, but I think Tierra is a person you would want to keep as well.
Okay. Minnesota Lynx. Any way you want Simone Augustus?
Nah, because I think she's kind of like on her last couple of legs.
I think she's literally on her last leg.
I didn't want to say that, but
I'll say it.
Okay.
I'll go on the record. I'll say she's on her last leg. But she's known that she wants to retire as a Lynx player.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just a known
fact.
I don't think she's going anywhere. She's a legacy player. You know, whatever they need to pay her, they'll pay her. And then eventually they know she'll be gone and they can kind of move on to the Nafisa Collier era. All right. Liberty. They got a lot of players. What about Tina Charles?
No.
That was a quick no.
No.
Anybody
she can hoop, though. Hooper, but just no. Bria Harley, no, because I would rather just sign the lady from Turkey.
Yeah, Alina Iguopolu.
Yeah.
So you presented Skylar Diggins-Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I present you. I don't think you can get Brittany Griner, realistically.
It wouldn't even make sense anyway.
Right. But I think there's room for DeWanna Bonner. Because I believe DeWanna Bonner is a shooter. I believe she can drive. I can believe she can pass. I just think she's a very versatile player. And I think at her height, she's listed at 6'4", 137. That's a two guard.
Yeah, they got that guard for 3-time All-Star. She shoots. Well, she was 27% from three last year, so I don't know about
but look at some other
31,
years.
32, 25.
She can stretch the floor. I mean, she's not great at it, but
she did give you 7 rebounds. She gave you 2 assists. She gives you a steal. What's her defensive win shares? She's really wasn't she on the all defensive team?
I think she's been on it before. I don't know about this last year, but
her defensive win share is 1.8. Her defensive rating is 99. So that's
three-time All-Star.
Nah,
I mean, think about how long
her defensive rating is 99, but the thing about her defensive rating is we got to remember she is playing with Brittany Griner.
That's true.
You don't play defense by yourself. When you play with Brittany Griner, you can kind of just shade people I dare you to go in there.
We got Nneka. Sparks have Nneka.
That's fair.
Nneka's a great defender.
She is. No.
Probably one of the best defenders in women's basketball history.
I agree, but I think her is I think on ball she's better, and I think Brittany is a more intimidating shot blocker. But I agree, on ball, especially in the post, Nneka's great. She's amazing. But I think Brittany Griner was just out because she's 6'7". She's more intimidating. She's like a Gobert.
Okay.
But I don't hate that. I don't hate that suggestion. I don't hate it. But in that situation, I wouldn't bring TRP back. I would just put DeWanna at the 3.
I agree with that.
And just see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would still put her as a second or third level priority behind Skylar Diggins-Smith, but I think she's got to be an option because she's so versatile.
If she wants to leave.
And imagine how many
Phoenix
open shots she would get on the Sparks. I mean, she'd be open all the time.
I don't know if she'd be open all the time.
Okay, they're not doubling her.
Nah, they're not going to double her, but I don't know if she'd be open all the time.
Okay.
It depends on who's playing it too.
Anybody on the Seattle Storm? Breanna Stewart.
I mean,
of course, but she's not coming.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, but like she's not coming.
Right.
Even still, I don't even think that would even fit like that to me.
You make it work. You make it work. It's MVP. You make it work.
It's fair.
Dallas not want to come. You make it work. That's the next thing, the Mystics. But realistically, oh, man, what if somehow, some way, would you take Emma Meeseman?
Yeah, she can shoot.
Right. I start her.
Who going to the bench?
Somebody.
In that situation.
But you know what? She's willing to come off the bench, though. Because she came off the bench with the Mystics, and she balled.
Yeah, but then what about Shanae?
She's a great analyst.
You are hilarious. You said she's a great analyst. You are hilarious. Nah.
It's Emma Meeseman.
No,
this
Emma would
this
be
lady
great.
was the Finals MVP.
Yeah, Emma would be great. But come on,
in the
she not
playoffs
leaving.
for the last 2 rounds was arguably better than Elena Deladon.
No,
yes,
she
Deladon
was.
hurt.
No, she was.
And she's got similar skill set to Deladon.
She was better, but she's not leaving Washington. Washington would be completely insane to let her get away.
Okay, but you know who could leave Washington?
Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel Powers.
I will be fine with that. She can play the two.
She's younger, so I would put her as a second priority over Bonner. So if I was ranking them, I would say Skylar Diggins-Smith first, Ariel Powers is my second target, and DeWanna Bonner is my third target.
They have her as a forward?
Yeah, she played forward. She's played forward basically her whole career. She played forward in college.
She shot 36% from the field.
She's not tall, but she knows how to play the wing.
Yeah, but then that gives you a really small team, though.
She could be a 2 here. She could be a 2 guard for LA. She doesn't have to play forward, but she just has the ability to, because they essentially played 3 guards at all times.
The thing about it, yes, if you bring her over, but if you do that, you have to best utilize that team. And I don't know if they want to shoot like that and get up and down and shoot like that. But you have to best utilize that team if you were to bring her over.
Why wouldn't you want to shoot like that?
They didn't do it last year, so I don't know.
Just because you didn't do it before doesn't mean you shouldn't do it in the future.
I agree. I personally think in women's basketball, I think it's foolish that everybody don't play like Washington. Like, right. What are y'all like? Everybody should be out there shooting threes. Like, why not? The game is predicated and built off skill. Not like y'all finna be flying through the air. Everybody should be out there shooting threes. Why not?
Right.
I mean, even the bigs, you about 6'3". That's an NBA point guard. Shoot.
Mm-hmm. Everybody should.
You actually probably got better forms than the guards do. Because you taller.
True. Yeah. It'd be more natural.
Be more natural. I think everybody should shoot. But if you're going to bring her over, you have to let everybody know, like, yo, this is the way we're going to play basketball now. We are going to shoot. Mm-hmm. All the bigs, work on your corner threes. All the guards, work on your wing threes. And we're going to get out there and shoot the basketball.
Okay, then. So, speaking of working on, there are 6 players from the Sparks who are overseas right now. I'm looking at the Winsidr overseas tracker. So if you want to see all the different teams, I mean, there's teams like the Indiana Fever where basically the whole roster is overseas. But then there's teams like the Aces where they only have a couple players overseas. But the Sparks, just a little below average because the Sparks have a lot of broadcasters. So they have Chanae broadcasting, Elena broadcasting, Candace Parker broadcasting, NECA and Chelsea national teaming. Mm-hmm. So that's 6 right there. I'm not exactly sure what Alexis Jones' status is right now, but I know for a fact that Kalani Brown is overseas in China. Mabry is in Latvia. Maria Vadiva, obviously in Russia. Sydney Weiss has been going to Spain. Quanah Williams is dropping 50 in Turkey. And TRP just went overseas recently. Mm-hmm. And she decided that she didn't want to go early, but
because she had to get her body together.
She wanted to play January until. So that's what she's doing right now. So you got 6 players, and 5 of them are under contract. Kalani, Mabry, Vadiva, Weiss, and Williams, all under contract for the Sparks. Let's start with alphabetical order. Kalani Brown, what do you want her to work on in this offseason?
Just being stronger in the post and being more like decisive with her moves and stuff like that. I think sometimes she brings the ball down and she doesn't really have to. I think I just want to just like really utilize her size. And I think that her mid-range jumper as well. I think that she could work on it. I mean, she has a good shot. Mm-hmm. I think she could just work on it and just improve it as well. So probably that and just being more decisive down low and really taking advantage of her size.
Does it make you feel good to know that her best game overseas, she had basically like a 37-20 game.
Great. That's what she could do every day.
Does it make you feel good to know that her main teammate on the Magic Deer is Han Shu, who is the 6'9" player who plays for the Liberty? So she's playing with another big. Does that make you feel good?
Yeah.
Or does that make you feel like that's antiquated basketball?
No,
Two bigs.
Nah,
6'9" and 6'7".
The thing about W is you can actually run that, especially if that other big can shoot. Mm-hmm. You can actually run it now, and I actually think she can actually shoot. The one who plays for the Liberty. I've seen her shoot the ball. Her form isn't terrible.
Yeah, she can shoot.
Yeah, she can shoot. I've seen her shoot the ball.
She's very
thin. She's very thin. So even though she's like a Porzingis to me, like even though she's 6'9", you're not gonna be banging in the post like that anyway because you're kind of thin.
I think Kalani needs to work on dominating. Because there's going to be stretches. Let's say Kalani Brown comes back as the fourth big, and she's able to average 8 to 12 minutes. If she decides that she wants to dominate in 8 to 12 minutes, she will have such a great impact that they will be forced to play her more.
It's gonna be hard to find minutes for her though.
I understand, but I'm just saying you'll have situations where you may want to load manage players or something like that. You'll have situations where NECA will probably have to leave a little bit early to go to the Olympics. So there'll be playing time for her there. You're right. Because the league is going to have to shut down. Because they have
too many players going up to the Olympics.
Not only on the United States, but
the other
the other players who are just from different countries, but then also the United States players who have passports in those other countries too.
Yeah,
they end up playing on some of those teams.
Yeah.
Okay, like for example, I believe Becky Hammond, she played on the Russian national team in the Olympics before. You got somebody like Glory Johnson on the wing. She has a passport for a European country. I believe it's Serbia and Montenegro. Yeah. So she could be on their team.
I mean, for Kalani, yes, the 37-20 games are encouraging, but for me, it's great that she's getting the actual playing time. Mm-hmm. I don't think that, I think she could have had a better rookie season than what she had if she actually would have got playing time. Mm-hmm. And again, with the issue with the Sparks, there's just so many bigs. I don't know if she's ever going to get the playing time that she really, really needs to get to be able to dominate in the stretches that you want her to dominate.
Yeah. It's going to be a long time.
Because it's hard to dominate in 8 minutes, bro.
It's going to be that's true.
If you think about 8 minutes, how much are you getting the ball in that 8 minutes?
Depends on what you want to do, how they want to focus. If they want to say all right, this is Kalani Brown time. For example.
Who does that for 8 minutes though?
For example, back in the day, when my Pistons still had Boban, whenever Boban would get in the game, he'd get that ball a foot away from the basket, he would score.
Yeah, but how
buckets.
Yes, but how many shot attempts was he getting? Probably 3.
That's 6 points. That's 6 points, and you're getting fouled. You'll mess around and have 8-10 points.
You can, but then you get snatched out real quick. That's not. I feel you because I think she can be not Shaq, but a Shaq type. Mm-hmm. She has the size pretty much over anybody besides Liz. She's bigger than everybody else. I think if
the only person who matches her size for size is Tierra McCowan on the Fever. The lady who played at Mississippi State, who was like a clone in size. They both 6'7", they both about 240-ish. I mean, they look similar, not similar appearance, but similar size.
Yeah, that's about it. So I feel you, but I think that she needs more minutes.
Okay, so we'll see if they can create more minutes for her. I know that Derek Fisher loves her potential, and that's the person who he pointed out as saying, I feel like this person has the most potential. I want to see the most improvement from this player in the offseason.
Yeah, because he played with Shaq.
Right. Marina Mabry. What about
her left hand?
That's it? Left hand?
Left hand is just getting smarter.
Okay.
Just left hand getting smarter and there's no, really, left hand getting smarter, just having more jurisdiction with her shots. I appreciate the fact that she's willing to shoot whatever, but I think the better jurisdiction will help her out a lot, and also work on her left hand.
But how does that help her rise above and earn more playing time? That's my thing. It's how does that help her? Just because she gets better, how is she going to end up being better than anybody else on the roster?
I don't know how
she's going to get better.
Again, I don't know how much playing time. That's the thing. I don't know how much playing time she can get on this team. Right. Because for her as a player, left hand for one, because I think the game against Washington, I remember, like, they were just sitting on her left, and she just kept going right, and they would just steal the ball from her because like she didn't want to use her left.
Okay.
So I don't know how she gets more playing time on this team, especially if they bring in some of the people that we said they was gonna bring in for free agency. I don't know how that happens, but just for her being ready down the line again, like you never know what injury may happen. You never know when your number might get called, you might get traded somewhere else, so like a better opportunity. Who knows? But just for her to keep improving her growth as a basketball player.
Yeah, because there's a situation that down the line, Marina Mabrey, she proves herself in Latvia. She has spurts in the WNBA. She could be, if somebody decides that they want to build around somebody like that and she keeps improving, she could be worth a late first round pick.
Oh, yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
She definitely could be worth a second.
They
definitely can get their pick back.
And sliding her feet defensively, too.
Okay.
Because that was one thing I think she was a little bit slow with her feet sometimes last year.
I personally want to see her just continue to work on her confidence. I think that a lot of it for her is believing in herself, because there was a point in the middle of the season when I felt like she didn't think she was worthy and she didn't think she was good enough to really be playing in the WNBA. She may never say it, but that was the body language I got from her. And that may just be, part of her personality, which you may consider self-deprecating, but I personally think people joke in truth.
I mean, I just think that was just like, I think that's just something that all rookies go through in general. I think that rookies just go through that in every sport or whatever. I mean, especially you got to think, like, she's probably never gotten the playing time she got last year.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that every level she's been on, she's gotten a decent amount of playing time, maybe outside of her freshman year in college, maybe. Other than that, she probably got great playing time. I mean, clearly she would know the name, so she got playing time. She's been a star in high school, been a star in college. You come to the league and you pretty much at the bottom of the barrel as far as when it comes to playing time and like on the roster. And even if you do get in the game, it's a blowout, or you get in the game, it's for 5 minutes and they take you out. Yeah, it can mess with your confidence.
Let me slide in TRP then, Tierra Ruffin Pratt, as a third player overseas.
Corner
threes, right?
Corner threes, wing threes, everything else. She's good. Just corner threes and wing threes.
If she had that PJ Tucker, Bruce Bowen.
She had the Trevor Ariza. The 2018 Trevor Ariza.
Yeah.
That's what she need. 2018 Trevor Ariza.
They wouldn't be able to take her off the court.
I know. She played 40 minutes.
She
would probably get a max.
Yeah. If she was knocking down threes like that, she'd be invaluable.
And she'd probably be on the all defensive team too, because I feel like they also look at your offensive stats.
They do. That's weird, right?
They
you can't be a player who has no impact.
Yeah, no impact offensively and be on all defensive team.
One, it'll be hard for you to stay on the court if you
Exactly.
literally have no offensive impact.
Exactly, no offensive impact.
But yeah, TRP has definitely got to be threes because I think the defense will just continue. Like, I don't think she's gonna get any worse at defense.
Yeah,
but the confidence to really shoot the threes, because beginning of the season, very hesitant. She got into it towards the middle, and then kind of just fell off with the percentages towards the end, and it became a liability.
Yeah,
so if you're never a liability from three, if you're making more than 1 out of 3 consistently,
then
that's an unstoppable player.
Especially if
for what you're asking her to
especially if you do add in another guard and you get 2 penetrators, people can get to the lane.
Right. Because you know what? When she left college, it wasn't her position that she played the whole time, but she left college as a penetrating point guard.
I can tell. She can handle the ball.
Yeah.
She can handle the ball, and her when she gets to the free throw line, a little free throw line jump shot is good. So even if she did improve her 3 points and she could pump fake and people actually had to jump, she could get to the free throw line, hit the little jump shot. It would just make her that much better.
She's willing to pass.
Yeah.
Maria Vadiva.
Confidence for her. Now her is actually confidence.
But you know what though? She has amazing stats for Ekaterinburg. She starts starts alongside Brittany Griner.
No, I think
over there.
No, I actually
she's probably the best Russian basketball player in the world.
No, I honestly think she's arguably the second most talented big on the roster. Not even joking.
And who's first?
Nneka.
Okay.
I mean, obviously Candace is Candace, but Candace is
outlier. Just make her an outlier.
Outlier, like Kansas. But I think
Yeah.
she's honestly the second most talented big. Like, I think she could realistically average like 17 and 8 if you gave her the minutes. I just don't think that on this team she can ever get the minutes. And I think that because she can't get the minutes, she holds back when she does get in the game.
Yeah,
I know she can hoop. She's like, to me, she's like a Pau Gasol. If I had to give her a
I
comparison.
mean, the first game of the season when Candace Parker was
She
out,
was balling.
she played that one game,
Balling.
24 and something.
I think it was 24 and 12.
Right, making threes, everything.
Balling.
Yeah.
She can hoop.
But I just...
For her, I really, really think it's actually confidence. Like, I honestly think that she needs to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Who really, really needs a big and go out there and play 30 minutes a night, and then she'll be an all-star.
Dude, you know who might trade for her? And who could actually use her?
Who?
Yo, Sky. Get rid of Dolson and use her. But the reason I say that is because James Wade is a part of the coaching staff there.
Yeah. Dolson is
already building a
and Dolson is
relationship.
unrestricted too, right? So like she don't have to come back. I think so. I think she's unrestricted. I could be wrong.
I think so.
Yeah, she's unrestricted, so she don't have to come back.
Trade another pick for her.
You're not wrong.
That was off the top of my head, but
You're not wrong.
that's the type of team that would embrace her. She's already playing with. Oh, and that's on that team. She's playing with the Chicago backcourt. It's the Chicago backcourt.
And yeah,
Brittany Griner and her. That's for the starting
and
five.
those things are unrestricted free agent. You don't have to bring it back. I don't hate that. But for her sake, I like not if they can't find minutes for her on the Sparks, which I don't think they can, just because of the bids that they have. I think they need to trade her and let her like fly. Because I think for her, it's literally just confidence. I don't have any type of actual game critiques for Maria besides confidence.
But the only thing about that is she's still so young that you can just keep her. She's 21, gonna be 22. You can just keep. She's still younger than like anybody you would draft, and she will have.
Yes,
she will be having
do
her
that.
third year of experience in the WNBA.
You can
Just
do
keep
that.
her.
I mean, yeah.
You holding her back. You're not letting her grow on the court. But
it's like how.
just keep her.
But when is she ever gonna play though?
I mean, that's what they did with Emma Meeseman. Emma Meeseman is in her like 7th year. They just kept her until they needed her.
But when did she start playing though? Like when did Emma start getting?
When she really, really started getting ticked? Look it up. But it's not as much as you think. Look at her development.
Nah, bro. She started every game in her second year. She started every game since 2014.
Right.
Like she averaged 14 her first year. And then she played every game 14. Then it was 27, 27, 29, 28, 23, 23. Like she didn't start until last year.
We're not gonna edit that out, but then I'm lying. Okay.
So like,
well then, I don't know. They got too many players.
They got too many players. They got too many players at the same positions for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think 4 and 5 is kind of like the same thing at this point in time.
But how do you? The problem is, it's like you got 2 Olympic level players. You got a third player that has similar talent level. You got another all-star. But then after that, like, how do you determine who's better? It's like you're almost rolling the dice.
It's not really about who's better. It's about what fits better.
But what are they trying to do?
That's the question that the new GM gonna have to answer, not for us to answer. I don't know what they're trying to do. Again, I told you they got basically 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
They got the team. They got pieces from the team that won. And then they got the this team. But who's next on the list?
So next on the list, Sydney Weiss in Spain. What do you want to see her work on?
Keep doing what she's doing. Honestly.
But what if she just came back much better at one thing?
I feel ball handling maybe. Ball handling. She ball handling because she played guard, but she can't really. I mean, she can handle the ball, but it's not as tight as it could be.
You know what I think she secretly could come back much better at? 3-point shooting.
I think she got better over the course of the year.
She did, but imagine.
Yeah, I agree.
Imagine if you felt like half her 3-point shots was going down. Like, realistically, you never really going to shoot 50% from 3, but you felt like half those looks is going to go down.
That's fair.
Like, can you imagine?
From the wings and corners for her.
Yeah.
And also ball handling as well, so that they can.
But if they bring in the people we're talking about, there's gonna be way less ball handling opportunities for her.
Then she would have to move to the 3 and just work on your corner threes.
But she got the size though.
Yeah, no, yeah. She's 6 feet. She can realistically she's a person where it's like if you didn't want to bring TRP back and you want to start her, you could.
Yeah. But I don't. Yeah, you could.
You could. If she could shoot the way you're saying that she needs to shoot.
But if that's the case, then I'm gonna add defense in there too. Like I want to see her like get after it, like become a dog. Like you're gonna get beat sometimes, but just get after it.
I mean, I think she's good.
Get after it, get under it.
I mean, I don't really see nobody ever give Sydney drugs to me like that.
No, they don't. But she still can go to another level.
That's fair.
Like pester people.
Like
she's not. Sydney's nice.
Yeah, she's a very. I don't think
nice
that's
person.
I don't think that's in her personality.
She's not. It's not in her personality.
She's
to
very,
be annoying,
very nice.
To be annoying or be pestering.
She's probably my favorite person to talk to on the team. Like she's very, very nice.
Right. Okay.
Raquana, she just got to chill out. Literally, just sometimes calm down.
Yeah.
In every single aspect of
She dropped 50. She dropped a 50 ball on him already.
Yeah.
And she dropped a 30 or 40 again.
But it's like she's not going to calm down. That's just who she is.
Yeah.
Like she don't play like that. It's like she going to either go out there and get you 50 or she might go out there and get 4 fouls in 5 minutes. That's just who she is. But for her, calm down. And also, she's a veteran. Like,
she
what am I
tell her to get
bench?
When she comes back, she got to come off the bench.
Of course, you don't want to start her.
I know they thought it was cool to start her, and they had a good record when they first started her before she got suspended. But
I don't believe in a guard who I don't like my guards. Well, no, I like guards who come in and jack up shots to come off the bench.
Yeah.
So like my Lou Wills, my Jamal Crawfords, those guys. Like I want you to come in and for the 20 minutes you play, all you think about is putting that ball in the basket.
Right.
But you don't need to start.
Yeah, it's no disrespect to come off the bench.
No disrespect. Yeah.
It's not saying that you're not a valued player, that we don't think you're a starter level.
It's just a team.
Yeah. It's just what they need you to do.
It's a puzzle when you got to fit the right pieces into the puzzle.
I wonder what a new GM would think about her if they don't really have a prior relationship with her and they just know that she has stuff in the legal system. I wonder what they would think.
Depends on how much they care about that stuff.
True.
Depends on what you care about. Everybody that has a different moral compass.
I mean, it's 50-50 that the GM is going to be, well, not 50-50, but there's a possibility the GM is going to be a woman.
How much does she care?
I don't know.
Does
she want to make a stance about?
Does she want to make a stance? Does she want to win basketball games?
I think you can win without Raquana.
You could.
You can win with her. You can win without her.
I mean, no.
You don't have to have Raquana Williams on the spot.
No, I agree. And if you're talking about bringing in, like a Skylar, then you probably honestly might want to just let her go because you really don't ever have to have a point in which you don't have Chelsea or Skylar on the court.
Right. And you talk about Ikwapova.
And then you just, and then you can just bring in her. And if you want to bring in like another.
Mabry, Weaves, TRP, you got so many players.
But if you were to like sub out Raquana and like let's say sub out as in like she's not on the team and you did have Skylar, you would need another defender. So like just take in find you her but on defense off the bench.
So TRP?
Nah,
another one.
Nah, yeah, like another one. Who could also shoot. Cause you wouldn't necessarily need her to you wouldn't necessarily need her shot attempts. If I have Chelsea and I have Skylar. Because I would assume we would never...
I got two examples of Agumakays who are not bad defenders.
Who?
Neka and Janae.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe little sister.
You really are that on this
dude,
draft.
Why would you not want 3 of them on one team? I know you taking up, a quarter of your roster.
Just a quarter. It all depends on team chemistry. Do you want that many...
20% of your roster.
Nah, it's do you want that many sisters in one locker room?
Why not? You saw her around this summer, didn't you?
Who? I saw her around this summer.
She was here this summer. You probably didn't notice, but I noticed she was there.
Yeah, I didn't.
She was there a couple games, hanging out with her sisters. Yeah.
I'm talking about the rest of the people, though.
That ain't tampering. She a sister.
No, you're talking about
you know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about the rest of the locker room, though.
They separated. They don't even spend... You saw where Neka's locker was and Janae's locker.
That's fair.
It's not like they sitting there having little personal conversations.
Right. That's fair. You're not wrong. Can't argue with that one.
They're very spread out.
Can't argue
in
with
that
that
locker room.
Can argue with
There's
that.
no cliques there.
It is.
There's space in between Chelsea and Candace. There's space in between Candace and Janae. There's space in between Janae and NECA. They are very spaced out.
That's fair.
Well in that locker room. It's not like LeBron and AD.
I don't know where their lockers are. They right next.
They
to each
right
other.
next to each other.
It is. I mean,
or like in the Clippers locker room. Are they got any cliques in there?
I mean,
and when I say cliques, I just mean people next to each other where they don't have to talk to anybody else. They can just talk to their friend. Are there people who are next to their friends in that locker room?
Like, not really. I mean, like Kawhi's locker is like, I think Kawhi's locker might be like right next to PG's locker, or like on like the same level, like same little plane as PG's locker, but like not really though.
Okay.
Like Pat's kind of like when you first walk in, but like Pat is like right next to Zubac.
Yeah.
And then like just Mo Harkless, then it's like Patrick Patterson in the corner. Then like on the other end, it's like Lou Williams was like across from Pat. Like not really.
Okay.
Trez is like on the thing. So yeah, not really, no.
Okay. Okay.
But let's wrap it up because
Okay.
I actually have to.
I appreciate your time, but no, I think it's important. First of all, just to wrap up, you have to see how much money you have to spend.
Agreed. How much money you have to spend?
If they come up with some great deal where they're gonna put the cap up 50% or 100%, then you know what? I'm getting a superstar team, and I'm about to ball out.
Like I mean, like if they put it up 100%, go grab everybody, bro. Like for one, it's not like at that point, go grab everybody. We're gonna make all the money back anyway. Go grab everybody. If we win, we will figure out how to win. G.
Right.
Go grab everybody.
It'd be like watching the Olympic team in LA.
Literally, it's like go grab everybody. If they put the cap up 100%, to hell with it, bro. Get everybody. Forget all type of team chemistry building. Just go get everybody, put them on the court. G, we'll figure it out. G, people, come watch the Sparks.
I'd have about 7 close to max players, and everybody else be on rookie deals.
Come watch the Sparks, bro.
Right.
At that point, we'll figure out how to win.
I have Skylar, Liz, Chelsea.
Forget team
NECA,
chemistry, bro. We'll figure
today,
it out.
Candace.
We'll figure it out.
Who else is their friend? I don't know. But they get one more friend. It'll be the super friends.
Put them all out there if that happens. So yeah,
but realistically, they have an opportunity to add one more max level player.
Yeah.
And so figure out who that is, identify that person, and commit to that person.
Let's say your priority list one last time before we get out.
Priority list. I love Skylar Diggins Smith for the Sparks. So that's number 1. Start her instead of Raquana. Upgrade. Secondary, Aerial Powers. Because I feel like she's versatile. I feel like she can play the 2 and the 3. And then at one point I was on the Angel McCautry kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I got to see how she does. Mm-hmm. But until then, I like the versatility of having somebody who can play 2 through 4, DeWanna Bonner, at 6'4". A 6'4" 2 guard? A 6'4" 3?
She'd be playing 3, but yeah.
She'd be the tallest 3 in the league.
She would be tallest 3 in the league, yes she would.
She'd be the tallest 2 in the league. Like,
she would.
That's the tallest wing in the league. Like, true wing.
Yeah.
Somebody who's not moving inside like Deladon or even Breanna Stewart or somebody like that. They all got to kind of play postish. But DeWanna Bonner starts on the outside.
Yeah.
So, I think that versatility. And then, I mean, you switching everything with her.
I don't think you need to switch like that.
You can switch with her.
Yeah, but you don't need to switch like that.
Why not?
I think people switch too much, and I think switching is overrated. I think that's you. I don't think that they shoot enough threes in the W to actually be able to.
The team that won shot enough.
The team that won, yes, them. I think you would need to switch against them, but everybody else, I don't think they shoot enough.
That's where it's going though. You know how it is.
We'll see.
When the Warriors changed the way the NBA was played or re-updated, because I mean, arguably you could say that they was playing like the speed that the early Pistons and the Nuggets was playing at. They just
like kind of took what Dallas and what the Spurs did the year before and then just added 2 of the greatest shooters of all time, and everybody was like, "Oh, they created." No, they didn't.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
They had 2 of the greatest shooters ever. And
there's examples.
There's
of
examples
other teams
of it.
Playing
They just
like
didn't have
that.
Steph and Clay on the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Pistons could have played like that, but Isaiah and Joe Dumars, they could have shot 1 billion threes.
Yeah, they had Mark Aguirre, Bill Laimbeer too.
Benny Johnson, they could have shot 1 billion threes if they wanted to.
That's fair.
So we'll have to see what happens, but so 15th is a deadline. That's when the extension is supposed to end for the current CBA. That's also supposed to be when you can actually start talking to these unrestricted free agents. So around that time, and then February 1st is when free agency is supposed to start. When you're supposed to be able to sign a player. So keep those dates in mind. We'll see what happens, but hopefully this CBA, the first thing, pay them more.
Please pay them more.
Pay them more. I don't know how
Please
much more.
I don't know how much
but
more.
Pay them more
pay them more.
And create a situation where down the line you're going to have the potential to pay them more, that it can just keep going up with the revenue.
Agreed.
50-50.
Agreed.
50-50. Whatever the NBA got for revenue, just do the same for the WNBA. Because
it's gonna be a little bit hard to work in, but
because
it's gonna be a little bit hard.
If everybody making more money, everybody makes more money. It's really that simple.
I agree, but it's gonna be a little bit harder to work in with the W than with the NBA. I feel like the NBA players got a little bit more power, which is a wise.
They do.
They
do. They do. So we'll see what happens. But all right, y'all. It's been the Spark Report. John W. Davis, Pavy. We appreciate y'all.
Get at you guys next time.
All right, y'all. Peace.